Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Final Fantasy draft here on the channel. Huge shout out to Wizards of the Coast for the free preview account in this early access event so I could get this recorded for you early. Let's dive on in. Ooh, we've got fellow YouTuber Haumph in our pod. If he's nearby, maybe, nope. He's two up from me, so if you watch his draft, you'll be able to see what he's passing to me at some point. But without further ado, let's get to the pack. We have Machinist's Arsenal, which is a card that I really think is great, and one that I'm going to take and try to build around to some degree because it fits really, really nicely in an artifact deck. It comes in attached to a creature that's basically a 3/3 base. But if you have other artifacts, it gets +2/+2 for each artifact you control, so it can quickly be like a 5/5, a 7/7, and then you can move the equipment around if that 1/1 dies. So a really nice card to start with. The other cards in this pack that I like Saz's Chocobo, just a really nice 1-drop aggressive creature. I like Sandworm, just big creature that can re-trigger landfall stuff, so you can double trigger stuff like the Chocobo. And then in the commons, I don't really love any of them. I think Sabo Tender could be neat. I think Sahagan's pretty reasonable in blue-red. World Map can be okay for fixing, but I think it goes Machinist Arsenal, Chocobo, Sandworm, and then Zac Fair is a reasonable card, and Rydia is a reasonable card as well. So good start to our draft, and we get to potentially follow it up with a Dark Confidant, or we could try to lean more towards a blue-white deck. Dark Confidant is really solid from what I've experienced with it so far. Definitely a reasonable card. It does have downside, like you can't play it in the late game, but on turn 2, people want to kill it. They don't want you drawing 2 or 3 extra cards, and it does you like 1.5 points of damage a turn in a lot of decks on average. So maybe 2 points of damage. So it is expensive and costly, but can be reasonable. There is the Imperial City of Arcades. So 2 mana, 0/4 wall. Just so good against aggressive decks. I think this card fits best in a blue-white deck, but it could also fit really well into a blue-red deck that has a lot of equipment. So we'll keep that in mind. It's between Dark Confidant and Thunder Magic. I don't really want this card to go into a black deck. Thunder Magic. Or I could just keep things totally solid and take the Wall of Omens, which I think I will do. I think Thunder Magic is better, but I think sticking to white is also really nice here for this early stage where I just need something to go my way here. Knight of Sandoria. So I can search for a creature with mana value 1 or less, put it in my hand and shuffle. For 3 mana, that's a reasonable 3-drop. There's also White Mage's Staff as a 2-drop. There is Side Quest Catch a Fish. There's a few options. I don't think this is particularly great. It eventually replaces itself and becomes a land, so it is value, but it's a bit finicky as well. The commons here are nothing to write home about. I think this card has the highest upside. Double white is tricky, but you can go get a Grand Pulse Ochu or something. That's pretty good. So we're going to take this here, I think, over White Mage's Staff, over Side Quest. White Mage's Staff is good because it's an artifact to go with the Machinists. But we need our deck to be able to do stuff when we don't draw the Machinist. Okay, and now there is a Weapons Vendor. I like that. Another white card. There is also Tonberry. So we've been seeing a couple of good black cards. We saw the Dark Confidant. Now we're seeing Tonberry. This thing is really potent. Like, attacks almost impossible to block. Just does 2 damage a turn pretty much. It's not the greatest pairing for our arsenal, but we might have to abandon that at some point. It's also a card we can go fetch up with Ranger Captain. So I think I might take it here over Weapons Vendor, which I do like. Makes equipping that thing around way easier. Tonberry also doesn't go great in a Wall of Omens deck. Wall of Omens is more defensive, Tonberry more aggressive. Yeah, I'm going to just take Weapons Vendor and stay white. But we're keeping in mind that black is looking open. Okay, now 3 1/1s for 1 card. I kind of want to try this one. Haven't gotten a chance to play it. I haven't seen my opponents play it, but it looks like it has some potential. There's also Paladin at Arms, just totally reasonable. 3 mana, 3/2, and then gives you the equipment for later. Works well with Machinist's Arsenal. There's also Dreams of Laguna, which gives us some filtering. This card might just be the best in the pack. I think I'm just going to take it, speculate on it. I don't really care about the Paladin's Arms that much. Okay, now there's a 2 mana 1/4 artifact. I do like this one. Scales into the game pretty well. We have a nice little defensive deck that can scale, I think. Brewing. Rook Turret. Aerith Rescue Mission is fine still, but I think the turret's going to be good in our deck. We're trying to build a white-blue artifacts deck. I think that's the best home for the arsenal. It's a pretty reasonable home for the weapons vendor. A lot of our cards are kind of fitting into that strategy, I think. More filtering to draw towards our arsenal, which is going to be one of our best cards, is going to be welcome. Okay, now there's a 2-drop or a 4-drop. I think this 4-drop is reasonable, but I think we just want to make sure we lock up as many 2-drops as we'll need. Especially because we're kind of a more defensive deck, and this is a pretty reasonable defensive play. Blocks, gives you another 1/1. And I'm confident we can find more copies of that sort of card. Weapons Vendor has felt a little bit small, but I haven't really gotten to see it in action all that much with equipments around. World Map. So it's an artifact, so it'll trigger our artifact cards. There's also a blue-red land, Sahagin. I'd rather just get the world map here. Artifact card for the artifact deck. And a blue-white land Wheeled. That's a good sign. Might as well get both colors versus just the crossroads. We got Side Quest back. That's a good card with artifacts too, because when you draw your world map in the late game, you can still sacrifice it to get some value. We have... This is not a legendary. We don't have any legendary creatures yet. I don't think we really care about Monk's Fist, but it's an artifact that's also a creature, so could be useful. I think our deck is more of a slow deck, and it's good to classify this while you're drafting. Like, do I think I'm a beatdown deck? Do I think I'm a slower deck? I think I've got the tools to be a slower deck. Okay, Ring of the Lucy can potentially ramp into some big artifacts if we see any. It's not a premium pickup, but Blitzball, nice. Okay, so now we're cooking here. Okay, getting a 1-drop is a priority for our Ranger Captain Vios. Magitech Infantry is the only one in white or blue, I believe, that comes to mind. I really do want this Valkyrie aerial unit, because I am trying to build an artifacts deck, and that's a very good artifact payoff, because we do have currently 7 artifacts. Between this, the Dragoon's Wyvern, and the Magitech Infantry, I think I will take this. It could wheel, but this card could also wheel. Dragoon's Wyvern isn't going to wheel, but sometimes you just got to take the powerful card that you really want for your deck. And now we get a 3-drop that's beautiful in our deck. If we attack, we can get an artifact from the top 5. So we're going to be able to hit an artifact basically every time there. It plays well with combat tricks. We're not trying to splash here, just playing our blue-white deck, but this is a good card. And then there's also UFO, which isn't really for us. It's more of a landfall card, but if you are building a town control deck, I guess, in like blue-green, maybe you can use it. They're just picking up a pyramid. That's funny. This combat trick might wheel. Also, having legendary creatures makes Blitzball more playable, though we're not really looking to play Blitzball. This is a creature with mana value 1 or less. So yeah, we aren't going to maybe be able to reach that unless we can get a Magitech Infantry into the deck, which we will prioritize getting, trying to get one. We're just not going to first pick it from a pack. Okay, there's Paladin's Arms. There is Travel the Overworld. Huge card draw spell, 7 mana, draw 4. This thing cares about Scouts, Pirates, and Rogues. We aren't going to play it, but do we have any of those? Nope, none of those anyway. I mean, it's a Scout itself, but yeah. Seeing some red cards this pack. Travel the Overworld is a huge card draw spell. Paladin's Arms, it's like a total like mediocre card, but it like facilitates a lot of our artifact synergies by being an artifact 3-drop creature. I just really want Travel the Overworld to be good. Draw 4 is so many cards. I'm just going to take Paladin's Arms. I don't think I'm going to end up with enough towns to make the Travel the Overworld good. This is the deck for Galacat. I have plenty of artifacts to enable it. Ultros is reasonable, but Galacat, if it hits a 3-mana 3/3 flyer with Vigilance, that's a great card. We have 9 artifacts right now. We just need to have 2 artifacts in play to make this happen. That's why you take cards like Paladin's Arms, is to make cards like Galacat good cards in your deck. And we are missing out on Tonberry once more from our Knights of Sandoria. But I think we're okay with that. Lunatic Pandora, we can maybe take one copy of it. I don't even really want to, but makes this cost less, works with Gallicat, gives us something to spend mana on. So, there's stuff. There's Weapons Vendor, there's another Rook Turret. I think we'll just take a Weapons Vendor. We're trying to get a lot of these equipment, so equipping for one is pretty reasonable. We are more of a defensive deck that kind of wins in the late game with flyers and equipping and stuff, so take the Weapons Vendor pretty happily. Okay, now there's Dreams of Laguna, and then there's Instant Ramen. Ramen draws me a card. I can sacrifice it to my side quest eventually. It sits in play. It triggers Rook Turret. I can find it with Ash. I'm just going to take Fate of the Suncrest, actually. I want another kill spell. I don't know if I have any removal right now, and this card might wheel. Slash of Light is great in this deck. The White Mage's Staff would also be good as a 2-drop. But I have a good number of creatures and equipments. My equipment count is at 3. My creature count is at 10. Maybe I just take the 2-drop then. Get Slash of Lights later when I can use them better. Okay, perfect. We get Gallicat now. I'm really liking the way this deck is shaping up. We have a lot of equipments, a lot of artifacts. Our Weapons Vendor is actually looking pretty reasonable. Machinist's Arsenal looks insane. Like, if we draw this card and they don't kill it, we're just going to win the game with it. Okay, I am going to take another side quest over Paladin's Arms. It did wheel. It ramps us up, makes us a food, makes any of our little creatures useful. Paladin's Arms isn't that good. We're not trying to splash, we'll just take the Monk's Fist. Another Monk's Fist over... I guess we could take Magic Damper. Just keep taking Monk's Fist. I don't really want Magic Damper. Wow, late Tonberry. I wonder if the Ring is going to be useful for us. Like, just adding 2 colorless mana. Wow, we got Ramen last pick. Perfect. So we can get Counterspell. This card's not our colors. Ether, copy stuff we don't care about. This is just a big artifact. Gallicat, Combat Tutorial. I kind of want Combat Tutorial. I really kind of like it. And I might wheel Gallicat. I don't think I will wheel Gallicat, but I could. It wouldn't be inconceivable to me. And then Counterspell is also pretty good. I'm just not that kind of deck. I'm not a deck that's going to hold up mana a lot. Whereas Combat Tutorial, like play turn 2, Wall of Omens, turn 3 Combat Tutorial, they can't really get through that very easily. I have a lot of card draw in my deck, a lot of value. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on each cleric you control. Cleric count is at 0. But we do have the White Mage's Staff, which is the combo with this card. So when we gain life, we put a counter on it and any card that this guy's on. There's another 2-drop. There's another Fate of the Suncrest. There's a Rook Turret. I think I'm just gonna take this guy, I think, actually. It's a big creature. Lifelink can stabilize a game. The removal spell's tempting, though. Gosh. Combat Tutorial or World Map? I'm gonna take Combat Tutorial number 2. Actually, World Map is pretty tempting. I like Combat Tutorial. It's gonna do good work for me, I believe. Weapons Vendor or 2-drop Artifact or Slash of Light. I'll take the Scorpion Sentinel, I think. Slash of Light is also tempting. My removals count is just Fate of the Suncrest right now. And the Lunatic Pandora. So not a lot of interaction. But this is such a good 2-drop for my deck. Summon Primal Garuda. Pretty good card, I'd say. Can kill something and then be useful afterwards. Lionheart is also tempting. I think I'd rather have Slash of Light, honestly, than Summon Primal. Lionheart was also a tempting option. Whoa, Cloud. So it can get an equipment card, which is so good with Machinist Arsenal. That's actually insane. I would love another land, but gotta take the Cloud here to get my double up on my Machinist Arsenal. Now I'm going to take another Scorpion Sentinel. Side quest is tempting, but just really want another one of these guys to be defensive and an artifact and everything I need. And then we get another kill spell. Just exactly last possible card to get a new kill spell, and we found it. That's huge. Okay, I think our deck really came together. The Charlion. We did have to pass that other dual land, but like it was not a close pick. Gallicat Wield, perfect. That's the card that our deck is built around. We are the Gallicat deck. We're not going to play Knights of Sandoria because we didn't get there. I think we took it before we knew we were playing blue-white. It's not very good in blue-white unless you get the Magitech guys. Perfect. We got another Fate of the Suncrest. I would not mind Phoenix Down. We have some good cards to get back, but we need more interaction. Minwoo. We can't use rings very well. We don't need Blitzball. We don't need the Cloud guy, so let's just take the rare. Monk's Fist is just a little bit weak. Weapons Vendor came back. That's nice. There's also Slash of Light. Let's take the Slash of Light. I think we have plenty of card advantage. Another interactive spell is going to be just what we want. And that lets us cut the Lunatic Pandora. I don't think we're a Dreams of Laguna deck. Maybe we are. We already had a Slash of Light. Interesting. Maybe I'd rather have had the Weapons Vendor then. Sahagin. Last pick, Phoenix Down. Interesting. Very tempting to just play the Phoenix Down now. I'm just going to cut some of the weaker cards from my deck. I would definitely cut a land if I was cutting the world map, so we'll just cut it for now and then add it back in later. Minwoo. You gain life, so not the greatest card. Weapons Vendor is fine, but nothing special. So side quest, catch a fish. There's 6 artifacts now. I'm going to cut the side quest. This thing is not good enough for my deck. Okay, add back in the world map instead of a land. So we're going to play 1 extra planes to help us cast double white for Cloud. That's 15, 16, 17 lands, basically. We need 2 more adds. I think I want to add 2 more artifact synergy pieces. And my artifact count is at 7 now. If we add in the White Mage's Staff and the Paladin's Arms, our deck gets 2 more artifacts, which is a lot more for our synergies. 2 Slash of Lights also get way better with those 2 equipments back in. We're now up to 3 equipments. I think we only want 1 Slash of Light. And we'd rather have instead 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops is just enough. We'd rather have the side quest, I think, so we can sacrifice random artifacts. Actually, we'd rather have a 2-drop that we can put combat tutorial on. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Cool. Well, this is going to be the build, I think. 9 artifacts, pretty interesting deck, and we will see how it does. We can always make changes later. See you in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the people who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. There are about 150 people who support the channel in this way on Patreon, and their contribution makes a big difference towards my ability to make all of the resources that are able to help the Magic community, like my draft guides, my set reviews, my pre-release helper sheets, my cheat sheets for draft, all of that stuff. Patrons really make a big difference in allowing me to do all of those things and spending the time and effort to do so. And it's great to be able to make these free resources, but I do want to give a special thanks to those people who do support and give back to the channel, because they really do a huge service for the community with their contributions. So I really do appreciate everyone who does support me via Patreon, and I do like to make some special content just for patrons, like my card by card tier list for each set, my format thoughts document, and things like that, because Patreon does make a huge difference for the channel, the whole ecosystem. And so if you're able to become a patron and you've been enjoying my content for a long time and you think you can give back and it's something you can do, then Patreon does make a sizable impact, and I really do appreciate everyone who contributes to the channel in this way. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who contribute at the credits level. It really does make a big difference, and I do appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1 on the draw. We've got our Wall of Omens, but what we're going to do is go Scorpion Sentinel, Galacat, Paladin of Arms, and then be able to attack with our 3/3 Vigilance. Scorpion Sentinels are definitely good late game insurance. We've got some pretty good defensive plays early. Okay, Scorpion Sentinel. This thing on turn 2 on the play. One of the best 2-drops you can have on turn 2 on the play in the format, presumably. But our Galacat will answer. They leave it on top. Oh no. Oh, we're doomed. This thing's gonna grow and add so much mana. Yep. Hate to see that. I'm at a very big disadvantage now. I have some kill spells for it, but I did not draw them. My deck would... this would be a really good draw for me against, like, a non-mythic rare 3-drop. If they just played, like, a normal 3-drop, I'm in pretty good shape. I just play Rook Turret. This thing hits for 3. They have a counterspell, don't they? No, they do not. Interesting. What are they holding mana for? Very confused at the moment. I'm sure all will become clear. Fire magic, okay. Not that confusing, I guess. Still a 2-for-1. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we'll play this and try to draw into a land for Galacat. I think that's our best bet. Loot. Yeah, that was a turn we needed a land. Machinist Arsenal is a heck of a card, though. It's going to be a 5-mana, 1 + 3, 5, 7, 9, 1 mana, 5 mana, 9/9. Just I'm not sure how much that's going to matter against this Vivi. Vivi does so much. Especially because it can be activated on both turns. Oh gosh, that's not good. Oh, I'm taking action. The island is mine. Come on, land. I need to surveil the land so I can hit land drops. Jeez Louise. I've got to get rid of weapons vendor, I think. Yeah, I think this is over. I needed to hit a land so I could play the arson and all, and they just had more powerful cards this game. I don't think there was anything I could have done really differently. Yeah, this one's just over. Okay. Next game. I mean, no adjustments. Just hope they don't have quite as good of a... Like, when you play a card like that has to survive to win the game, and then it just survives, it just wins the game. They built their deck well enough to use it. Draw cards. Trigger it over and over. Bob's your uncle. And they just out-firepowered me while I missed land drops. I mean, it's not like I missed land drops in the early turns, but like my 2 mana 1/4 guys had to like become 4/4s at some point in that game for it to be like a relevant contest, or I had to be able to play my like double spells and stuff like that because they had such a huge mana advantage with their 3-drop. I needed to not stumble. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. You can't always have a perfect draw, and sometimes your opponent has really good cards. So not a indictment of our deck yet. We're still figuring it out. Okay, well, this hand is weird. We have to mulligan. And we can't cast like half our spells. Okay, we can keep this though. We will get rid of the Fate of the Suncrist. I am starting to think Weapons Vendor is a card I haven't really cast it, but like it feels like I'm never really excited to cast it, so yeah, we'll see. Meanwhile, Combat Tutorial, I'm incredibly excited to cast. Ward 1 is no joke. It's a thing. Usually they're happy to trade with a Saga creature because, like, it's going to die eventually. Let's play our Rook turret. Because then next turn if we draw a land with Weapons Vendor, we can go Weapons Vendor, equip Paladin of Arms to Rook turret. That'd be pretty good. So if we draw a land here, it's the dream. I've never hit a land in my life when I needed to. Okay. Oh my gosh. It would have been so good though, because then this thing would have started jamming for 5. As is. Missing land drops is really never good in limited. It's tough. Okay, that's a trade that we can make. Do we want to? Not really. Because it makes our Slash of Light worse, and we really might need that. Fat Chocobo, okay. Fat Chocobo. So let's do this. Buff up this guy, get our card draw going. Play this. Play this guy, which is a good trade with the Chocobo. Now that we have another Weapons Vendor, I think we're okay trading these off for the Chocobos. I thought I was going to have to equip this turn. So they get 2 attacks with this. Which is why I'm really trying. I mean, I should have maybe traded with the Weapons Vendor last turn. That would have been way better. I would have been at 20. They would have had 1 less bird. I just thought I was going to need the mana to equip this thing. And then the way that I drew, like I think I drew this 2-drop. Or maybe instead of doing this card, I should have just gone Weapons Vendor equip. That would have been a good use of mana that affected the board a little bit better. Potentially. No, it would have affected the board the same because of the 2-1. Okay, the Chocobos are coming. The Chocobos are coming. The Chocobos are coming. Here's where you hope they don't have anything crazy. Okay. Cool, cool. Perfect. Just what I wanted to happen. So this thing will hit me down to 6 and then it'll die next turn. Okay, that's scary. Really bad for me, actually. Oh, well. Well, indeed. Okay. We can tap this guy. It equips to my guy. Honestly, the weapons vendor is doing pretty good work. Not gonna lie. He's doing a good, solid job. He's attacking. He's doing stuff. Chocobo's down. Behemoth is down. Slash of Light might do something. Chocobo racetrack, okay. So I can kill a Chocobo. Die, Chocobo. I'm gonna decline and just attack normally. And I will take this equipment. Boom! Got the win. Nice. Playing a 4-4 was also tempting, but I think the equipment, I can play it, equip it. Nice little win. We're on the board. I'll see you next round. Welcome to another round. Great hand here. On the draw, we need another plains, but we'll find one eventually. Magitech infantry. That's a start. Our Dwarven Castle Guard is ready. Oh gosh. They're off to the races. It's nice because we can buff up our extra 1/1 with combat tutorial when this guy trades or dies. Sure. Okay. The guard is going to protect us against this Adalbert Steiner, hopefully. Okay, White Mage's staff, so Adalbert gets bigger. Flash of Light, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. No blocks. I'm not liking our chances this game. That Adalbert is just too big for 2 mana for us to deal with. Might have to chump block it. Gosh, Cloud. Paladin's Arms. Paladin's Arms. Gosh. Adalbert is a monster. We just need to find one copy of our card that, like... doesn't have trample, so that's good. I should have done this the opposite order. So Adalbert is huge. They're at 41 life. But we can walk them down. Next turn, our Scorpion Sentinel becomes a 4/4. And we can equip it. Wow, that is, gotta be said, maybe the worst possible card for them to have chosen of the 5 I have on the board. Because, like, now I get to equip this thing. It can trade with Adalbert on its own. Play land. This is going to be equipped there. Gonna play my 2 combat stat affecting people. Okay, I think Weapons Vendor I've come around on. This card's pretty sweet. Okay, they get a Magitech guy. Sure. But, like, now I can make this a 4/4 flyer with Vigilance. I thought they didn't have another Magitech. It felt like they had that mana before and they just didn't use it. So Adalbert is on its base. 2/1, 3/1, 3/2, 4/5. Because they have 3 equipments. So these equipments combine to give +1/+0, +2/+1, +4/+2. Oh, that's a draw. That is a heck of a draw. Gonna buff the Magic Cat. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to keep it around. And Slash of Light can get through the Ward 1. How many Magitechs do they have? That's the question. It's pretty reasonable if they... Okay, so they're out. They only have 3. Okay, that's fine. Dion, my man. Dion and other knights have flying. Well, that would have been a problem. This is why you're careful and hold up your removal spells. Dion has to die. Has to die. I'm starting to think I should just play my other Slash of Light. It's been so important every time. Okay, so they're going to start turning their other guys into big guys. Okay. My 3/3 looter's already dead, right? Yeah, Rook turret's gone. So this thing attached to the Ash. Ash will trade. Could just attach to my big guy. Let's get a Surveil going, see what we find. Okay, those are both great. Definitely not going to shuffle. Okay. So I can get rid of an artifact from them forever. Okay, make the trade. We'll pay the mana that time. Snowvilliers, sure. Trade 2/2 for that guy. Gonna thin my deck ever so slightly. We will equip it to the Ash, because now Ash has an attack. And then we can re-equip it to this guy. We're going to hold back the aerial guy, though. So we have one extra blocker. Oh, there we go. So we killed 2 of their bodies, which is huge, because each of their bodies gets way better thanks to their equipments. And now we have 1 artifact, 2 artifacts, 3 artifacts. Gosh, when they were at like 50 and we were at like 10, did anyone think we could make this comeback? It's a 7-7. For now, we'll just attack as fast as possible. Next turn we can move over, attack, move back. They can get it up to 6 power. But because this is Vigilance, we'll always have 2 blockers. Gosh, we get him next turn. Okay. Did we get him? Oh, this game was a thing of beauty. Oh, please say it worked. Oh my gosh, really? Luckily that thing's gonna have to chump block. That thing would have been scary a couple turns ago. So it bought him another turn. I could have moved the other equipment too, but I'm just gonna build up my defenses so they can't like steal my cat with like a top deck of that card that steals a creature. I almost just let my my Gala cat die. That would have been bad. But like I'm trying to play around them like stealing my guy. Boom. Got the win. That was satisfying. I mean, we both have similar amounts of lands. Though I guess I drew 8 more cards. They have 11 lands. I have 13. Boom. Got the win. That was quite a comeback. We were on death's door. The weapons vendor moving around equipments was actually quite effective, so I will say I was glad to have it. For sure. Nice. Oh, the equipments are performing well. Let's see our deck to see if there's any changes we want to make before we keep this rolling. I think I said this before, but we're going to play 5 rounds with the deck to maximize my time in the early access event so I can try as many new decks as possible. But I think it's gone pretty well. I really want to get this extra slash of light in there. I love the Gala Cats. I've loved the combat tutorials. Those have been great. Paladin Arms has actually been really good. What has been bad? Dwarven Castle Guard's been fine. Honestly, I think Slash of Light is the cut. Just how it goes. But yeah, see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. Our first time drawing Fate of the Sun Crest, so we'll see how we like it. I do like the Scorpion Sentinel. It like kind of paces itself to turn the game around, which I like. We're gonna lead with 1/4 because it actually threatens to block this guy and trade with him. and also as an artifact. So if we draw Galacat, it's pretty awesome. First try, no big deal. I do like side quest catch a fish. Especially when you have artifacts like World Map, you can top deck and then it turns them into relevant draws. I do not like the Cloudbound Moogle, however. Wow, I was punished for my attack. That's crazy. I did not think that could possibly happen. Okay. That's a good draw still. Galacat number 2. Let's World Map. So now I have 2 artifacts. Galacat number 2 doing his thing. Are they mono white? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Wow. Okay. I think I have to do this block. If they have +2/+2, it's so bad for me. Maybe not so bad. It's fine. Okay. So Chocobo's gone. So I was gonna have to deal with another attack from that thing. Okay, so we're still just gonna keep cruising. I don't want to lose this artifact because it's keeping my guys as 3/3s. Boom! Got the win. Maybe they were color screwed after all. Nice. Huge victory. We're heading to the final round with this deck. It's going to be a shame to see it go, but let's try to get a 4-1 for it, shall we? Welcome to another keep, but it is a sketchy one. The Galacat will try to do its best, but missing a 2-drop is felt pretty bad in this format, especially on the draw. So I could be in a real bind. Oh, Adalbert. Oh my gosh, what a rip. What a rip off the top. The Scorpion Sentinel. Love to see it. Sometimes you just gotta trust your deck, and my deck wants me to win this game. Whew, baby. Galacat next. Sure. And locking in my you almost always, so like combat tutorial was an option there, like target my own guy, but you generally want to deploy the cards from your hand before card draw, especially in this sort of matchup where it's all going to come down to whether or not I can survive the onslaught. Pretty much as you saw the last time I played red white, I kind of survived early and then I walked him down slowly with my Galacats attacking in the air, and I think we're going to do something similar this game. The only reason next turn I might buff the Galacat is because then it can make it more likely that I can double spell this following turn. But I think I'd rather just get the Galacat going. And then if I need to hit a land drop next turn, I can use Combat Tutorial to try and help with that. But I might just draw a land naturally, and then I can still just double spell with other things. Do I want Galacat or Ash? My mind is saying Galacat. Ash would be nice because I can just attack with Ash, and then like if nothing changes, Ash just deals the damage I need. And they like trades with something, and I get an artifact to make my Galacats bigger. But my spirit is saying that they didn't have a good answer. Like they didn't have a really powerful turn against the Galacats and Scorpion Sentinels, and they might have something better lined up against an Ash if I play it. Because like, what is in their hand realistically? Like, what kind of hand do they keep where they just have an Adalbert? They clearly drew this on turn 2 or 3 because they didn't play it on turn 1. And like, yeah, so they had Thunder Magic. So if I play Ash, they can maybe double spell. Like they kill Ash and then kill something else. Tantalus. Oh, is it Zidane? Sure. They're doing 1 damage to me with this Zidane. Actually, they're doing 0 damage because I'm blocking. So like, this is a real big win for me. And now I do this because I really want to hit a land drop, and buffing up a Galacat is pretty reasonable. And I do this. And I'm in good shape. I now have a 2/4 and a 1/3, so the 2/4 can block Zidane. This was the card I was trying to play around the last time I played this matchup. My 1/3 can block stuff. Hitting land drops is key. And I'd rather have 2/2/4s than one big one and one small one, I think. Because 2/4 lines up so well with this board, especially when it becomes a 4/4. So I think I would use the second combat tutorial on the other Gala Cat. Even though it would put it out of Thunder Magic range, technically. Okay. So at this point, I'm fine against that. I can kill it with Fate of the Christ. And I'm just going to use my Slash of Light while they're tapped down to kill this Adalbert Steiner before it becomes a problem. Nice. Kills a Dane. And then I will play my Ash, because Ash now attacks into them. We'll trade with one of their creatures. Or I can buff it with Combat Tutorial so it can attack past that. This deck is really humming along, and I'm really getting a new appreciation for a lot of these cards. Combat Tutorials felt amazing. Gala Cat has felt really, really strong in this deck. Okay, they have Zidane. So they get to take it and look at the top 5. That's pretty good for them. Zidane number 2. It's funny because I think this thing stays equipped, right? So like when I attack, I think I'll still gain the life. Or do they gain the life? Honestly, Ash is probably okay in their deck because they have equipments to go find. Okay, so they get a Katana. That's pretty annoying. Yeah, so it does work the way I want it to. So I gain a life. I get a Scorpion Sentinel. That's huge. Trading is nice for me. Then I can go Weapons Vendor. Scorpion Sentinel. And then next turn I can go Rook Turret or Combat Tutorial. Yeah, so they're going Katana. That makes sense. And then they'll equip the other thing to it as well. I can afford to take 4 this turn. Especially because this can buy me a whole turn against that equipment. So now my Gala Cats are huge. I might have gone Combat Tutorial if I hadn't drawn that, but now I have Lethal next turn. And I can like triple block this guy. And I have 4, 7, 10, plus 1 more from the Combat Tutorial. So if this thing's tapped, no, it's only flying on their turn. Yeah. So I think I'm in good shape here. And I can even tap down a flyer. So it's more about whether they have a kill spell for one of my flyers. I think this card's nice as a build because he requires a little bit of work to feel like strong and good. But like it's at the very baseline, it's very solid because you're getting the card back from it. And there have been cards like this in the past that just felt egregious. Like when you get a card back and it's like a 3/3 or forbid a 4/3, then you feel like, okay, it's kind of unfair. But when it's a 2/2, it's like, okay, they did invest in this card. And that's like the reason they were able to get it to work was because they like put some equipments in their deck, so moving them around would be beneficial, that type of thing. So they can kill 2 of my guys, but this guy dies as well. They gained 1 life. I forgot about that part of things. And I lost my artifact. That's also a bummer. Okay. So target me, buff up this Galacat. Okay, I can play Cloud. Go get 1 more equipment. But I will instead just be conservative. No, this has ward. Cancel, cancel. And pass. When you're in such control of the game, you don't need to choke it. And also that would have been a way to choke it. Just like blow away my stuck in Summoner Sanctum for no reason. Captain Lannery Storm, that's why you play defensive, because you never know when they're going to top deck a Captain Lannery Storm that can like deal a bunch of extra damage out of nowhere. So wherever they equip the Katana, I'll tap that creature down. Probably their flyer. They're just dead on board. They should concede, I think. Well, they're not dead on board. Yeah, they are dead on board. They can't kill me here, and yeah. Okay, interesting. And we will pay the extra 1. Lannery Storm. Captain Lannery. No need to risk anything. They're dead on the crackback. And Bob is your uncle. 4-1 with this deck. Quite a nice little result we got. I'm very pleased. And yeah, it felt really solid. Galacat, fantastic. The Machinist Arsenal that we built around was really good the times we drew it. We had Cloud to get it at extra time, which was also really cool. The deck really felt strong and really felt like it was using cards that I hadn't gotten to use in other decks very effectively. Like, we were getting Galacat very late because Galacat isn't really good if you don't have the artifact density, but it was great in our deck. And Scorpion Sentinel was a card we were always happy to have. It scaled into the game well, made things like Valkyrie better. Rook Turret was good. Weapons Defender, we were able to use it with like Paladin's Arms, which was nice. And overall, like, just having good removal spells was really key as well. So because being able to answer like 1 key threat a game was essential. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave #artifactfun to let me know you made it all the way to the end, because this deck was fun and full of artifacts. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks again to Wizards for the free preview account. I really do appreciate being able to record these videos early. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.